Hi, I wanted to share some two quick dreams, and I almost didn't, but they've just not left my mind. And just early this morning, I felt it very impressed that it's time to share this. Okay, this first dream was very quick. It was back on October 25th, um, and I just woke up very unsettled that morning. And the dream I had was I was in a room. For some reason, it kind of felt like my room, but it wasn't a room I recognized. There were people around me, and it was, how dreams are. It's like the walls are there, but then it can change, and then suddenly there's more people there. It just made no sense. But in the dream, I'm looking out a window, and over the treetops, I see these rolling clouds. One big cloud in particular was like growing. And I got very scared when I saw it. I didn't know if it was like a nuclear explosion. I don't know if it was like a big storm cloud. It was not gray. It wasn't, at first I thought it could be fire, like a big smoke from a fire, but it wasn't gray or black. It was like a beige color. And it was almost like a funnel kind of thing, but it was like ballooning out and it was coming toward me. It was coming toward this place I was. And I wanted to stop and just study it and figure out what if it really was an explosion. But something just like an alarm rang in me, and I said, I got to get packing. And I rushed over to the bed, and I was throwing things in a suitcase, going through drawers, and I could still like get the presence of feeling of people around me. And I started yelling out to people saying, I said, you guys, something is coming. You got to get packing. Let's go. Let's go. And nobody just seemed to be even hearing me. Like it was just like they just were kind of tuned out. So that rest of that part of the dream, I was just throwing things in a suitcase and rushing as soon as I could to get out of there. Um, I don't know what that meant. I obviously it feels like a warning of some kind. Um, but I noticed that same morning, why I specifically mentioned the date, a few other people had really alarming dreams that morning. So maybe something we don't know about. I'm coming to find out. Well, I guess I've known for a while. Our media doesn't really, they don't tell us a lot. And there's a lot going on that I'm sure we have no idea. So just something to keep in mind for that particular date. But I feel like it's a warning something is coming. Um, and then another dream I had, this was actually before this last dream, maybe mid-October, I guess. I was it looked like some kind of big corporate building, and I was on the ground floor. And it felt like almost like a bank or something, kind of very professional corporate kind of building. And I, I'm watching, just observing the employees and people who work there rushing around. And I see a lot of businessmen, businesswomen rushing around into meetings, and they're all getting very scared. And for some reason, I'm not caught up in this. I'm just observing. And I'm sitting next to somebody. I'm kind of just saying in general, they have no idea that this company's closing. They have no idea that I'm already seeing signs that this business or company or whatever building this stood for is coming to an end. And I was talking about, and you know how they say, like, you kind of can see a warning sign with some companies when you go into their bathroom and they're not stocking certain machines, for like women. That was like a well-known saying when you know a company is in trouble, when they just kind of let things go. Little things at first. Well, in my mind, in the dream, that's the kind of signs I was seeing. Like little things are starting to let go. And I've been with companies that were getting sold or bought out, and you start to just see them cleaning house, you see them consolidating things, getting rid of departments. And that's that feeling I had, like, I see this, I see the signs, and things are coming to an end. And I'm looking at all these people rushing around in meetings, going around, and they're not seeing it. They're so caught up in the immediate business of their task, but yet they see something's wrong, and they don't know what to do. So, later in that dream, I then go to the very top floor of that building, and I'm with my family. And this is where it gets really interesting. I'm sitting with my father, my real life father, and he's sitting to my right, and he's sitting kind of, it almost feels like we're sitting on steps, like carpeted steps you'd see. I can't even think, um, just like they look like steps, okay, and they're carpeted, but people can sit on them. And my father's kind of sitting like one step up behind me. And then I feel like my sister's there and some other family. It feels like we're having dinner, like we're kind of at a gathering. And it just felt very comfortable. And suddenly my pastor walks in. And I was surprised. And in real life, my pastor and I are kind of at odds because all these things I'm learning about the rapture is not doctrine that my particular church, they don't subscribe to that. And it's an area of disagreement my pastor and I have come to. We've had some brief little talks about that. We've emailed each other some certain things. But in the dream, he came right into the room. He was late to the party, but he came right into the room. I was very surprised to see him. And I remember saying to my sister in the dream, oh, my pastor's here. And I felt like I wasn't ready. Like in real life, he has dropped in before and I wasn't ready. Like my whole family, we were at home one day and he just kind of popped in for a visit. And that was the feeling I got, like, oh, you never know when your pastor's going to pop in, That's what I was saying to my sister. Well, the thing is, my pastor comes in the room. He goes straight to my dad and he just falls to his knees and hugs my father's legs, like just hugging him. And I just felt like honor and respect and all these things pouring from him. And I remember being so pleasantly surprised and just saying, wow, I'm so touched that my own dad, like he is honoring my dad and just, this honor and love he was just showering on my father. And he just sat there. And my father just sat there. And it wasn't until I woke up, I saw all kinds of significance in this dream. First of all, when I came into the bottom floor of this building, obviously, I just feel like that's symbolizing the world and it's coming to an end. I'm seeing the signs. A lot of us on here are seeing the signs. We're seeing things coming to an end. All the little things that mean that things are winding down. The company's about to close. But so many people are running around still in the game thinking, oh, if I just do this or just do that, just getting from one day to a next. And we know it's too late for that. The company's been, sold and they're kind of closing out. And that seems also significant. We're on the bottom floor. That's kind of like the base, mindset, the most, least elevated way of, kind of not believing in God, basically. You're attached to the world. You're earthbound kind of thing. Then later in the dream, I was on the top floor. And what I'm thinking is that's after the rapture. We're in heaven. We're on the very top level. It only just now hit me that there was food around. Maybe that was the wedding feast of the Lamb. My father, in my mind, in my dream, I saw my real life father. But of course, symbolically, that would be God our Father. And it was God telling me that I should not have judgment on my pastor. Maybe he and I are not where we're at. But who am I to assume whether he is saved? Who am I to assume that maybe he won't be taken up? It was interesting, though, that he was late to the party, so maybe he won't make the rapture, but maybe he will be one of those who do get saved or join later. But what God was showing me in this dream was the important thing is his love for me. And he definitely had love for God. And that is the important thing, is that the Lord was showing me in this dream, do not judge. That's my job. And the Lord was saying that, just respect the pastor's love for me. He has a very pure and sincere love. And whether we don't see eye to eye on certain beliefs, a doctrine, things in the Bible, that's not for me to judge and leave it to God. So it was an interesting lesson the Lord was showing me. And I remember in my dream saying to my sister, you never know when your pastor's going to drop in. So it was like, I didn't expect him to be with this party, but he did show up. So maybe he is going to be in the rapture. I don't know. But the rest of the message was pretty clear to me. So anyway, I just wanted to share those two quick dreams. I just felt impressed to share them with you guys. And I hope perhaps they give you some kind of answers and bless you. And I pray whoever's watching this, I pray that it speaks to you, and please just keep praying to Jesus. If you are trying to receive word from him, receive dreams from him, receive answers from him, pray. Just pray, repent, and I promise you, he won't waste time. He is trying to draw and gather in his children like never before, and so many times he's knocking at that door, and you just got to open it. All right, guys. God bless you.